Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Trauma Uncensored. I'm Andres Gamboa. Thank you for being here. We have a really cool episode today. We had Mallory on the show. You're going to get to hear about who she is. Of course, if you've been listening to the show, you'll know exactly who we're talking about. Very, very fun episode. A lot of funny stories towards the end. Bit of a sensory warning there at the beginning. We do recap a little bit from Mallory's perspective of what happened during the car crash. So if you have little ones listening, maybe kind of fast forward through that section. 20 minutes in, we start talking about how it was for her to deal with the grief and join her parents in the journey to improve, grow, and try to carry a weight that is this heavy. A lot of really cool insights. She has a phenomenal quote in there. I won't spoil it for you because, man, it was like one of those things that you want to put on a t-shirt and you need a tattoo on your body. It was so inspirational. And then, of course, at the end, we talk a little bit about some of the funnier, embarrassing stories of our lives, looking back and giving Logan a lot of love and making sure that we remember him and honor him correctly. And then at the end, a very touching moment between Brooke and Mallory about the things that they are proud, about the journey so far. And really, really cool episode. I've felt really honored. And so hopefully you enjoy. This is the Trauma Uncensored podcast.
Trauma Uncensored.
Trauma Uncensored. Trauma Uncensored.
What did you do for your birthday?
What didn't she do or get?
We got donuts, and then me and my dad were out for a while in the morning, and then I had friends come over, and we went to Urban Air, and then we got Mexican, and then ice cream.
Hell yeah!
I'm still exhausted.
That's how you spend a birthday. Well,
I for sure had
happy birthday.
Thank you. I for sure had a birthday hangover.
Now, by the time people listen to this, it won't be your birthday last week. You would already be back in school, but still, happy birthday. And for those of you who don't know, first of all, thank you for being here. This is the Trauma Uncensored podcast. I'm Andres Gamboa. There is Brooke Scherer over there. And we have a very special guest today. It's not been uncommon that we have guests in the form of Brooke's family. And I think today is going to be a really cool episode. I mean, I think they're all really cool, but I mean, I'm a little biased. But this one's going to have a little different tone because we have Mallory here with us.
Mallory, it's going to be a censored, uncensored show.
Yeah.
It's fine. I've heard it all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's the reality. And honestly, you know what? This is a really good way to start. So if you haven't listened to our first episode or you kind of are like, this is literally you're starting cold with this podcast, Brooke and her family were in a horrific car crash back in September 15, 2016 that killed her 9-year-old son, Logan. But Mallory was also in the car, and the three, her husband, Mallory, and Brooke all survived with, of course, having to just try to survive and struggle through the fallout of not just losing a family member, but then also having to go to court and just this insane journey of recovery, healing, growth, and determination to just be an inspiration for others. Nonprofits, we're talking about insane, lengthy court proceedings, a lot of physical, emotional, and mental trauma. And so therefore, that's why we're here to share with people who might need that inspiration. But Mallory, for the most part, of Brooke's story has been, and actually Jordan too, has been someone who we've talked about before. Even we had a whole episode recently about how do you parent after something like this happens. And so we thought it'd be a good idea to have her come in and share her story. And I want to say thank you for being here because that takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to be willing to come and share something and talk about this. First of all, at your age, but in general. So I'm always proud of Brooke for doing it. So you definitely got your parents' courage. So thank you for being here, Mallory. How are you today? Good.
Tired.
Well, now you not only do you look like your mom, you sound like your mom too. She's always, I'm tired.
I am. I'm always, you know what? I get up. I am typically up at 5 a.m., if not before. This morning I got my long walk in and was back, by 6:45, and Jordan comes out at 7:30, and he's all like, have you already gone? And I'm like, yeah, I've been back for like an hour. And so, I have things to do in the morning. So by the time it's 10 o'clock, I'm going, man, I've lived a day already.
You can go back to bed and start over.
I wish.
I know. Naps are great. My
They are
kid takes
great.
them all the time.
Yeah.
Lucky her. Well, okay, let's jump in. Now, one last thing, if you guys are listening, keep an eye out. There's some cool announcements that we're going to be working on. It could involve a giveaway. Ooh. In fact, there might be a splice already at the beginning of this episode about the giveaway. So if that's been announced, well, then congratulations. Also, there's some really cool get-togethers that we're planning potentially. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's some sizzle in that steak. There you go. There's the sizzle.
That
of the
is.
steak
Brooke has begun the planning process.
of a little get-together for our fans.
That's right. And it's going to include sunshine and all sorts of potentially beach, more than likely beach. It's going to be fun, but it's also going to be healing and full of community. And I'm very much looking forward to finally being able to announce exactly what's going on.
We also have some people we're looking to partner with and collaborate with, other people in and around Brooke's life who have been really instrumental in her growth. And so keep an eye out for that as well. And then last but not least, if you like the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It means a lot to us. Some people are, we don't necessarily ask much of people as that are listening, but if you really want to help, if you feel like this is helpful to you and you want to give something back towards the show, the little things like leaving a review would be huge. So
and we will read it.
Yeah.
You will get your fame on podcast.
As we are here now. So Jordy Party of 6. I don't think we've read this one yet, have we? Jordy Party of 6. 5 stars. Everything we needed and more. Jordy says, I don't even know where to begin. I have lived with trauma for nearly 30 years. At the age of 17, I lost my best friend, my cousin, to a deadly crash caused by DUI. 12 years ago, the sudden death of my husband and caused by malpractice. Oh my gosh. I was trauma bonded for the first 8 years after his death. Though my loss is different, nearly everything resonates with me. Hearing Brooke talk about her journey makes me feel like I'm not alone. This is everything those of us on this journey needed to hear. Thank you for being brave and vulnerable. See, I'm telling you, you guys are very brave. Thank you so much, Jordy. A party of 6. So sorry for your loss and glad that this is helpful. Wow, that was really cool. Thank you for sharing that, Jordy. Wow.
It's Melanie, but yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's Melanie?
That's Melanie.
Oh, the username was just Jordy. Wow.
I know.
Melanie, you rock.
Yeah, Melanie. She will at some point. She has been, Melanie and I have been good friends for almost 9 years now. And there have been times that we've been out of touch and then times we come back into touch. But, I always looked up to Melanie after Logan died because she was such a prime example of strength and moving forward to me and having her shit together and everything. And it's been very humbling because she, every week, like clockwork, after the episode is released, she has something to say. And typically it'll be a text that says, I have so much to say. I have so much to share. I have so much input. And so we've actually got a shared note going back and forth with information that it's like her brain dump, but I get to read it and I get to experience it. And to hear someone like her talk about how I'm now, doing something that is profound for her and helping her that she can, find some solace in, just seems very, it's very honorable to me. I feel very, awesome. I feel very humbled by, but not just her. I mean, all the other feedback that I'm getting. It is very humbling to know that I'm putting myself out there and being this vulnerable, and it's giving people the space to want to share. And I think I talked about this before, but I'm noticing more and more that people want to talk about their trauma. In fact, we were in getting our hair done last week, and our hairstylist our hair artist. I'm going to call her an artist because she is an artist. Her name is Kirsten. She, she doesn't name names or anything, but she has this discussion about, I mean, she hears a lot, right? She has people in her chair all the
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
I was telling her about how it seems more and more to me that people want to share their trauma. They're not afraid of, just like laying it all out there. And
Yeah.
I think people are hungry to actually talk about their own. That's why so many people have approached me and they're like, if you need someone to be on the podcast, I'll be on the podcast.
Yeah.
And we want people to get in and share these experiences because trauma isn't just, I lost my son in a horrific car crash. Trauma is all across the board. And the more we start to talk about it and the more people start sharing, the more the community is going to gather and say, I don't feel alone. And
Yeah.
so, the goal here is to let people know there is a safe space and it is okay to share because they want to talk about it.
Yep. I agree entirely. And it's so cool that people have been reaching out like that. I love it when you send me that. Like, hey, look what this person said.
I know. And I don't,
by the way,
I don't even send you, I send you maybe a quarter of what I get.
Yeah. Now, by the way, if you do have feedback and you don't have necessarily Brooke's number or my number to like let us know, one thing you can do is go to hello@traumauncensored.com. There is a link below in the show notes, so you can tap on it to an email and let us know how we're doing. If it's, besides the 5-star review, if there's things that you want us to change or maybe something you don't like about the show that would be for improvement or for constructive feedback, we'd also like to hear that too, because we just want to improve the listening experience. So, okay. So with that, let's just jump in. Okay, Mallory, I got some questions for you if you're ready.
Okay.
So, well, let's just go back and rewind the clock a little bit. So you just turned 14, right? You said?
Mm-hmm.
So
Friday.
So back then,
Friday.
2016.
Happy birthday.
Okay.
You would have been 5, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay, wow. Okay, so let's just walk through what you remember from that day, if that's okay. Just doesn't have as much detail as you want or don't want, but just let's just take it from your perspective as a 5-year-old. A lot of people have been in car accidents. Not many have been in car crashes. And I intentionally said accidents that one time, Brooke, intentionally.
I know. I knew where you were going with it. That's why I didn't say anything.
A lot of people have been in car accidents. How many people have been in car crashes? And we do make that distinction because what happened to you guys was not an accident. We've been over this a lot of times before. But most of us aren't in one of those, either of those at such a young age. But because of the nature of it, it's always very vivid. And I know you've shared some of this, not when we were recording, but we've talked kind of when you're around the podcast. But I just want to hear it from you in as much detail as you want. What do you remember from the day? Tell me from the beginning when you were like in the car prior to everything happening, and then let's just go from there.
I only remember a few like things here and there. I remember being in the car before the crash and kind of just like the positive tone. Like I remember laughing and just having fun with Logan. I don't remember like exactly what we were doing, but just like laughing and having fun. And then afterwards, this has always been something I've remembered. I remember laying in the grass, like looking up at the sky. It was like really bright and I heard like a lot of noise. And I remember like being in pain. And I don't know if this was probably you. I feel like I've always remember like faint crying. I don't know if that was you or not. I would assume so.
I don't know.
Just a sound. You're just looking up and you remember that sound of someone crying.
Mm-hmm. It's like I just woke up. I woke up at one point and I looked up. I was just looking up.
You remember like fun time. You remember there's like good energy in the car, and then it goes blank in your memory, and then the next thing you remember is you're looking up at the sky and you're in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember your mom mentioned in her reiteration, and your dad, your leg was broken. Do you immediately remember just pain in your leg or just pain everywhere? Or is it described like, was it like just sharp in one spot or just really just all over the place?
It wasn't, I don't remember it being just in my leg. It was kind of everywhere.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you go back to like passing out, or do you stay awake the whole time when you're being flown to the hospital?
I remember waking up in the helicopter
Whoa.
again. See, this is always one thing that I'm not sure if it's true or not, because I remember waking up and like looking over, and my dad is like laying down, puking. Um,
In the helicopter.
mhm.
Yeah.
Are like helicopters for like ambulances like that? Do they like? Because they were like we were on the stretchers or whatever.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
would have been. Yeah, you were both in the helicopter.
I don't remember if that was like just my imagination or if that was.
That's been the story
But
she's talked about since
yeah,
the beginning.
but
so.
you felt I mean, and it makes sense. You're disoriented. Like this, you've been in a major impact. There's, of course, probably. I mean, and you were in the. He hit you from behind, so you and Logan were both in the back, and so the brunt of the force probably came, you know, to your head, not just your leg. Like there was like a lot of stuff that was going on. So you remember that, and then you just remember waking up in the hospital, or
Pretty much. I kind of
Whoa.
remember getting like in the surgery room, kind of getting like taken in there. Maybe that was a different time, but I remember being in like an operation room or something.
Mhm.
And there's like a lot of people around me, and then I kind of went out again. And next thing I remember is just waking up in a room in the hospital.
Wow, confused? You feeling scared? Probably.
I mean, I'm assuming so.
Well, I don't know if you remember, because sometimes people have vivid memory, like they wake up and the confusion of I was just in the car, and then you feel like you dreamt everything, and then all of a sudden you're like fully aware and you go, what the heck? Like this has got to be a dream that I'm waking up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because you can tell you're in a hospital, right? There's like stuff going into your arm, probably from the IV. There's like people running around with lab coats, or it looks like.
Do you remember anybody being there yet? Any of our family? Or you woke up and you were
I don't.
alone?
I think I was alone. I don't remember, but then again, it wasn't that long of a time before I was taken to
Yeah.
your
Well,
room or
yeah.
someone came in.
Well, and my family didn't arrive until I think it was around 11:30 that night. Yeah,
You remember time?
well, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, because I called them right after it happened. I called Dad or Papa, and
I was gonna say
yeah,
what?
not your dad, my dad.
Yeah.
And I remember right before we got off the phone, he was asking if him and Mom and Sean should come down. And they did. I mean, I can't believe they got down there as fast.
Wow.
Fortunately, for a flight from Indy to Tampa, it's about, I think, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So it's not very
Just
long.
to skip on an airplane.
Yeah, well, I mean, how they made it happen that quickly. I think there were a lot of other people, other family members involved in helping them do that too. But
Sean came.
yeah, Sean, you don't remember Sean sleeping in your room and snoring? I think he did that like twice. Jess and him stayed in there one night together,
Oh.
and she couldn't sleep because he
Yeah.
wouldn't stop snoring.
I
And then I
remember
had
that.
my dad in my room doing the same thing. I was
The
like, Dad,
Malacote man.
Dad.
The
Well,
Malacote
Nana's also pretty bad about snoring. Remember?
I
So
know.
yeah,
That's funny that those are like the things that we hang on to, right?
The
So
memories.
okay, so hang on. So then now you're in the hospital. Your aunt's there too, right? Because she mentioned how she was kind of the one hanging out with you while your mom and your dad were kind of figuring stuff out and kind of recovering. So, at what point does someone come and explain to you that Logan has died?
I was wheeled to her room. I think it was at night, right?
No, it was in an afternoon. It was the afternoon, that next afternoon.
Okay.
They wheeled you in.
I thought it was at night, but that works too. But one of the nurses wheeled me in.
See, there it went again. So, listen, just like last week, something just fell off of my window as we're talking about this. So
Interesting.
it's really there are no coincidences.
That's Logan being like, you better say something nice about this. I
Or
swear,
maybe
Mallory, I
supporting
swear.
sister. Maybe he's supporting his sister and telling her that she's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, you're doing great. Okay, so hang on. So you get wheeled in, and then do you because you're 5, so it's really hard. Your mom talked about this on her side, but I want to hear from you, like how it's difficult to explain to a kid what just happened, right? And especially something this horrific. And so, how do you remember her saying it to you? And like, were you able to? I mean, at 5, it's kind of hard to even understand what that means. So how do you remember it going as far as like that conversation?
Um, I remember I asked why Logan couldn't come visit us. And then, I mean, from there it was kind of just, they told me. I can't remember
We had
much about that.
we had a social worker, Laurel, who was going in between. I mean, primarily working with Mallory, but going in between Mallory and Jordan, myself. And she came and sat with us, and she was kind of the one who drove the conversation about Logan. I mean, Jordan and I were so just lost and dumbfounded and confused about what the hell just happened. And so she was able to kind of more eloquently, sit down and have that conversation with Mallory. And that was a very, very difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
when they said they were going to wheel her into the room and we were all going to have a discussion, it made me sick to my stomach, because how do you
can't
tell your
imagine.
child that her sibling is not just down the hallway?
Yeah. Wow. So do you remember how old you were when you first started recognizing what it meant? Like, was it pretty early on, or did you kind of just recognize it later when you were older?
I feel like I always had like an idea of what had happened and like where he was. But I don't think I started really putting 2 and 2 together till I was a bit older.
It just felt
Maybe
like
that. I don't know what age, but
sure. And then at one point you just realize it. Okay, let's pull on this threads more then. Okay, so your time's passed, things are changing, you're getting older, you're starting to understand a little bit more. And of course you still have, you have to figure out, you have to go to like therapy, physical therapy for your leg, therapy in general, just for your brain and your heart. So do you remember any of that process? Were you scared about it? Were you nervous? Did it help? Do you remember any of those emotions as you were kind of starting to heal and face what was happening?
I don't think I ever started actual therapy until, was Liz and Cass the first?
No, actually,
Did I get therapy before?
when we lived in Tampa, you were in those 2 different
The camps.
grief groups, for
Mm.
kids.
Oh,
And
I remember
that's
that.
where the one is where you started that whole karate thing. You remember that? Apparently I just hit on something embarrassing for her, but she loved one of the
Sounds like Mila.
therapists there. Yeah, Mila does that too now, which is interesting. But one of the therapists, they would go back and always do like karate chops, and she'd kick in the air, and she'd be like, "Mom, look what I can do," and she'd be like, whoosh. She did.
Wait,
But you did that camp too. Remember
Mhm.
that spring your
Yeah.
dad had the flu, and
I came back and
I
y'all
had to
thought I
take
had
care.
lice.
Oh yeah, was that? No, that was
No,
the
that was the first one.
was it
Because
the
I
first?
had that hair tie from
Oh.
a friend on the bus.
Oh.
Who
Nice.
Kristen had to go through my
Now
hair.
I know not to let Rio borrow her ties. Okay,
Oh,
so
we could talk about lice for sure.
so hey, hold on. So hang on.
Nasty little
So
boogers.
you're going through this therapy, and you're meeting other kids who are going through something similar to you. Is that comforting, or does it make you more sad? Like, how do you recall any of that as far as just the emotions of having to deal with something like this?
I mean, being so young, I feel like I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But thinking about it now, if I was in that situation again, I mean, it would make me feel I'm not alone.
Hmm.
So I'm not like having to do it.
Yeah.
Not having to like go through that by myself. I've got, friends and other kids who have lost a family member. Like maybe not the same way, but
But they're still experiencing the grief.
yeah.
Do you keep in touch with any of those kids, or have you met any other kids who've gone through something similar that you're like, oh, I can connect to this?
I don't think I know very many people that kids that have gone through that. I don't
Hmm.
think.
So then, okay, so then that question then is, do you like when you're now that you're 14, you have your friends, you just had friends at your birthday party, right? Do you feel like they understand? Do you feel like left out or alone, or do you think that there's like how do your friends treat you? Because so this is kind of we had a similar conversation with your mom, and I'm going to explain this question so that way maybe because I don't think I'm explaining it very well right now. But with your mom, a lot of friends, and when you go through something really tough like this, people don't know how to act around you because it's like you're the friend that has the brother that died. You know what I'm saying? And so then it's like uncomfortable for them, and so when they become uncomfortable, it kind of has a potential to drive some wedges between your friendship, or they treat you just a little differently, or they tiptoe around certain subjects with you. So then that actually makes you feel more alone because nobody can really relate to what you're going through, what you went through. And so do you ever get that feeling at all, or are your friends pretty supportive? How do you guys like navigate something like this, so, like sensitive?
My friends are all supportive. My close ones are, supportive. It's always been hard though because, you know, they'll talk about, oh, my brother, my big brother, is gonna take me shopping later. Me and my sister are gonna go out and do something.
Mm,
Um, and I mean, I know I've got Mila, but I don't have the older sibling anymore to, have those experiences with. And
mm,
so it always made me feel kind of alone when they talk about that. Um,
yeah, that makes sense. How do you deal with that, or
I
how do you
kind of
like?
just go
How,
with it. I mean, because it'll never end. I can't like tell them to stop
right?
talking about, their siblings. That's not fair for them. But I mean, at this point, because it's happened for a while, so I kind of just go with it.
Hmm. And now when you look back, as far as the journey that you've been on, because like you said, it will never end. It's just you're going to continue to be on this journey. That's just the way trauma works, right? It's not like one day you go to like that last therapy session. It's like, okay, it's not like your leg, right? Where there was one day where all of a sudden your leg was healed and your bone was fine. And yeah, you're going to have some, residual stuff, but generally speaking, your leg's not broken anymore, right? And so the emotional side is a little different. But when you look back at what you've been, are there any moments that you're proud of how you're able to grow from it, or how you're able to just bounce back, or how you can find strength? Anything that you can think of that you go, man, that I'm really proud of you or your family that you can think back on.
Um, I mean, my mind went totally over there. Um, I, I mean, there have been times for sure where, hi,
You're just sorry, you're not close enough to the mic.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go.
um,
That's better.
there have been times where like people will talk about, oh, blah 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 blah, and I just think about, I mean, because they say, oh, my dad, like something, my dad's in the hospital, and like, oh, I'm sorry, like I feel for you, and then it makes me think of, you know, us,
Yeah.
because we had to go through that, and a lot of people, what they don't understand is like people who've lost family, lost people so close to them, like a parent or a sibling, um, they don't, there aren't, obviously there are people that have experienced that, along with you, but a lot of people are like, oh, I understand. No, They
Yeah, you
don't.
don't. You don't understand. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I started 8th grade and I had to explain to a lot of people because I'm a very cheerful person. Like, that's just how I am. I'm very happy all the time. And so if I'm upset, usually it's about being sad about Logan or something like that. And I'd have to explain because they'd be like, "Why are you so sad?" I can't, because if I'm just like drop the bombshell, that's, you
It's
got to
hard.
explain it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I understand what you're going through," but they really don't unless they have lost a parent or sibling
Yeah.
like I have. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's hard to relate to, especially with the way that Logan died. It's very, it's definitely lonely. Yeah, I can't imagine. I don't know what that's like. But dang. So do you think that would be advice that if there was someone having their kids listen to this episode who maybe they've experienced something like this, what advice or what things would you say to those kids that are listening about how you've been able to maintain cheer and happiness despite something so intense?
I have always had like I my biggest piece of advice would to keep their memory alive, like even just in your head. If that something like that happens and the parents are in such a state where they don't want to think about it, that's fine. They do, you do you. But I always have kept this like memory of Logan alive in my head, and I have many like little trinkets and stuff in my room that just remind me of him. I've got this shelf like pictures, and I've got his like urn,
Mm-hmm.
like ash, like a smaller version of the urn where we keep his ashes. There's nothing in there, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
still,
helps you think of him.
yeah.
It keeps him top of mind. How?
Um, Sorry.
No, go on, go on.
But I just like I've always had just little things that I'll have with me. Like if I'm at school, I have a bracelet. I've got a necklace with like butterflies because butterflies are a big thing with Logan. But just like little things and just keep, the memory alive.
Yeah, I like that. Keeping the memory alive. That's good advice.
Don't
Some
let the light fade.
oof. Ooh.
Whoa, that just
Okay.
came from my kid.
All right. Well, this has been a great episode. We can just wrap it up there.
Yeah, I know. All right, see you guys.
Don't
See you
let
next
the
week.
light fade.
Nice.
Okay. Wow. Well, that first part of the episode, I wanted to just talk about like your experience so far and kind of what happened from your perspective. Now I want to shift a little bit more towards Logan, if that's cool, and just because it just seems topical, but just because I think it's beautiful the way you're talking about it now. So this is a good transition. So okay, talk to me about what you remembered Logan being like. What tell me, like, if I didn't know him, like I've gotten to know him through your mom and through your dad, but I want to, because siblings know people, their own siblings, in a whole different way. There's like
Yeah.
shenanigans you guys got up to and stuff, right? So talk to me about who he was. What was he like? What do you remember him being like?
He was always like cheerful and he was goofy. Like, I remember you would think that because the sibling, not rivalry, but siblings can get in arguments.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Mila argue a lot, but we still love each other. But it's like I would, steal his like shark stuffed animal, and he would be like, "Mom, Mallory took Sharky again," but he would always like in the end share. He wouldn't just, be, "No, you can't have it. Go away." He would be like, "Yeah, you're fine. You can stay." Um, I mean, being closer in age too was probably, we were both little, so it helped. But he would always want to do stuff with me. You know,
Oh, he wanted to share in with you.
I would
Wow.
I would crawl in his bed at night and be like, "Can I sleep with you?" He'd be like, "Yeah." And he would like read me books and stuff.
I'm glad she brought that up because that was another thing we'd hear from when they were upstairs, Mom, Mallory won't get out of my bed. And so we'd finally go up there, and, he'd been complaining and complaining. And by the time we got up there, she'd be snuggled up next to him and he'd be reading her a book,
Oh
so
man.
With my baby.
with your baby.
My baby.
Yeah, we talked about that little
My
baby on
baby.
an episode before.
Oh man, that is beautiful. And when you think of him, what's like the first thing that comes up? Like when you see something, like you see the urn or you see like the trinkets and stuff. Are they specific memories that you have of him, or is it always just a general theme of, oh man, that goofy kid?
Yeah. I mean, I've got photos. There are photos all around from like specific like memories and stuff. But I mean, it's all kind of just comes to him. Like his goofy personality, his bright smile. I mean, I see you smiling from the corner of my
You're
eye.
supposed to be watching Andreas, not me.
It's okay.
I can see it from
the three of us are talking, so it's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good. Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And so as when it comes to specific stories or any memories, what is your like favorite story of like things you guys got up to? Do you have like a specific time that you like? I have so many of my brothers that we'd get up to some funny stuff. Like my brother and I, one time we'd recorded like a Star Wars video, and I think we stumbled upon it recently, and oh my gosh, it was embarrassingly funny. But there's like those specific, one time we were wrestling and I almost broke his back. Oh my gosh. He still says that he's got back problems because of me, which, siblings.
Whatever.
Do you have like specific stories that you remember?
I'm guessing it's one of two. I have two in mind.
I have one. I don't know the other. I don't have two. I just have the one. I know you know it though. We were at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And how old were we? Like 4 and 8, probably.
No, you were younger than that. You were probably 3. Maybe even a little bit younger.
Oh, well.
Add 4 to that. That's how old Logan would have been.
But we were at the beach and we were making sandcastles. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go down, get water. And, he was positioned in a way where he couldn't see me walking down. His like back was towards me. And I came up with this giant bucket of water and I dumped it on his head. And we got that on video.
It's actually, it's out. I mean, you can, if you're lucky enough to search and see news footage, from all the interviews and everything we've ever done, you'd be able to see it.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, you'd be able to see it online. That's one that was regularly used. Can I share a story?
Yeah. I don't know what your other one was.
She's not going to be very happy when I talk about this. But so she used to love to take Logan's money. So Logan had, a lot of coin banks and stuff. And
I think Mallory knows exactly what you're going to talk about now.
It was.
I didn't think about that. That's
you said money and she immediately went, oh God.
It was, I think, at the end of June of 2016, and we hear them upstairs yelling at each other. And Logan goes, Mom, Mallory took one of my pennies and won't give it back. And then all of a sudden he's like, Mom, Mallory swallowed the penny. So Mallory decided the ultimate way for it to not go back to Logan would be
to put it in my mouth
and then swallow it.
That was not my intention.
Well, it happened. So here we were at the immediate care getting, scans, and sure enough, there it was. And then we were given very specific instructions on what needed to happen to make sure that it passed.
We can stop now. We can stop now.
You turned into your own little piggy bank, huh?
Yeah, well, she did. Jordan and I, got the fun experience of constantly checking for it to come out.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a parenting joy.
And then when we were at the Wyatt, I went to the bathroom and it was
the one time. Yeah, the one
Clink.
time. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she goes, Logan, don't let her go to the bathroom.
And she did, and then it's like, days later, and we're still like, this thing should have come out by now. So I had to take her back to the immediate care. and they did another scan and it was gone. And I'm like, it was the one time,
That
the
we didn't go
one
into.
time that we couldn't access.
Because they dropped us off at like in the kid area at the Y.
And then you dropped off the penny.
And
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
She sure did.
We do not encourage children to eat money in this show.
No,
for
we
the
don't.
record.
No.
But that is going to be
But
one
that's
of those
hilarious.
stories that I continue to tell for
That's
the
really funny.
rest of her life until she's just like, whatever.
I
That's
actually
probably what I'm
love
going to
that
toast
story.
to at her wedding.
Oh,
God, please no.
Her
Yes.
graduation party.
Yes.
Please no. If you're going
Yes.
to talk about a story, you should talk about, because how old was I when I fell down the stairs?
When you felt
So one day, Logan was up in Indy with my Nana, and I was carrying, they're like, oh, pick up your stuff, because I left a bunch of my stuff on the stairs, all my toys. And I didn't want to have to take 2 trips. So I kind of just took it all and was going. Ended up doing a cartwheel down the stairs.
nice.
It hurt. I was crying. I remember like laying on the couch with you. Like, didn't Dad pick me up, put me on the couch with you?
No, we took you straight to the ER.
Oh, I swear I was laying
and
on
while
the couch
we were
with
in
you.
the ER,
I
she's
was
dancing
dancing.
and singing around. And we're like, what are we
Nice.
doing here? I mean, why we just paid probably at that point $100 to take her to the ER for her
For a
to be
dance
dancing
party.
around. Yeah, for a dance party. That's right. Oh man, that girl though, she got into everything.
High school dance parties.
You
She-
think I'm bad? Look at Mila.
Yeah, Mila has definitely
Do-
topped the both of them together.
Do you still eat pennies?
No. That was a one-time thing. It was because I wanted the penny.
How much money do you
And-
think you've eaten in your life? 30 cents per penny?
No.
Like just
Just one.
Just one penny?
$100,000.
have you ever
I-
eaten just paper money?
No.
Okay.
I didn't want him to have it. And so I put it in my mouth thinking, oh, you're not going to go fishing through my mouth for the penny. And then,
She's 4. She was 4 at the time. A 4-year-old.
My parents are just gonna fish through my poop
That's right.
to make sure it's all there.
And that's what we had to do.
That's
Jordan
awesome.
and I took turns.
That is a hilarious story.
No, it's not.
It's very funny.
See, this
As
is
a
what-
as a
this
dad,
is the
as a
benefit
dad,
of being a parent.
Yeah,
You get
that's
to
so
talk
funny.
about
that is so
the
funny.
literal shit that you have to go
I mean,
through.
Yeah.
you talked about me farting on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's not very happy that I talked
Oh.
about her and her dad having farting contest.
Stop.
Yeah. This is after the penny too. Change.
was.
All that
I mean-
copper changes the system. Okay. So one penny. All right. Well, I would not encourage kids to eat pennies. Please don't do that. It's not
Well,
a new
listen,
challenge.
we used to find Mallory sitting in the dog crate with handfuls of dog food. She would just eat the dog food. She just would go into the pantry and into the bucket and grab the dog food by handfuls and you know.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay. I'm gonna because we told an embarrassing story about you. I will tell you an embarrassing story about me, just to
Deal.
compensate, and it has to do with dog food. But my mom, because so you can relate to parents, right? My mom fed me dog food on the day of my wedding.
Nice. Why?
Exactly. So the moral of this story is don't cheap out, kids. And by the way, this has nothing to do with Logan or trauma, so I am sorry if this is total derailment.
No, this is fun
But-
because the story I'm telling myself right now is that you guys decided it was too much to have a per plate, per person type of thing. So dinner was dog.
Okay.
Dog food.
Well, okay. So it was breakfast, but so here's what happened.
okay.
So a couple of things. A, don't cheap out on food, I think is the moral of the story. My mom lives in Grand Island, Nebraska. In Grand Island, Nebraska, there's not like these super nice high end. Well, I mean, there's some, but that's not where she regularly shops. She goes to Walmart for her groceries, right? So she's wanting to have low expenses when it comes to food. So she goes and goes. she
She lost the headphones.
lost the headphones.
She'll be back.
My ear itched.
Okay, so anyway, she's used to shopping at Walmart, and for 25 years that we've been here in the United States, or 22 at the time, we've almost exclusively shopped at Walmart. It may be the occasional Safeway or Albertsons, but that's about it. So she comes to Portland, and in Portland, there's like no big corporate stores. I mean, there's very few. Like there's like 2 McDonald's. I mean, there's probably a little more, but like there's no Walmart within the city limits of Portland. You have to go just outside of Portland to kind of go to Walmart. And so she was here. The closest thing was like a Natural Grocers or a New Seasons, a very like, organic food type of thing. So she gets in there and she's looking for sandwich meat because it's in the morning. My brothers and I and my dad and my uncle, we went to go play soccer in the morning just to kind of, it's a wedding day, just kind of, we don't need to do our makeup. We have no hair.
Right.
So we got time. So we're playing soccer and my mom's like, I'm going to make the boys some sandwiches to eat for the morning before the wedding. So, okay, so I can't believe my mom did this. So she goes to look for sandwich meat, but you ever seen those tubes? They're like wrapped in plastic. They look like sausage tubes, or like ground beef sometimes comes in like a little tube of plastic. You know what I'm talking about? Like it looks like a big pill. So she's there and she sees, $12 per pound or whatever for like this sandwich, super fancy sandwich meat, $12, and it's like in the refrigerated aisle. But because there's certain dog food called Fresh Pet that also comes in that similar tube and it needs to be refrigerated, they put them in the same like refrigerator, but it's at the bottom. And my mom didn't care to read that it said Fresh Pet on the label. So she's like, oh, $6.
Yeah.
Ding,
Right.
ding, 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 ding.
That's what Dad would do.
She chops them up in like slices and then puts a ton of cheese. She doesn't know this. She has no fucking idea. So she has no idea.
It's fine.
So she puts the cheese in there. She just slaps a bunch of mayo on it, puts an egg on top, and we all eat the sandwiches. All of us eat the sandwiches. So now, fast forward, we get married. It's a beautiful day. My brother's a flower girl. It was really funny. My brother, you and I have that in common, that our brother's goofiest people ever. And so my brother's like the flower girl. Everybody gives a good toast. It was good. And all of a sudden the party starts getting on. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon. And I see my dad just like come out of the bathroom like, mijo. And I'm like, Dad, are you okay? He goes, yeah, I don't know. My stomach hurts. I don't know. Maybe something I ate. I don't know. It's okay. It's your day. Just have fun. I'm like, okay. And then I look over like an hour later and he's coming out again. And I'm like, oh man, my dad's in bad shape. All right, whatever. And then I look over and my tío, my uncle, he's like holding his stomach. He's like, oh no. And I go, uh-oh. That's two. I look over to my brother and my other brother and my other brother, and it's just like a rotating door of bathroom usage between the four of them, along with some people that are just like waiting to pee. And I'm reading the lines and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to like leave with my wife after this. I can see the future. This is coming for me.
You're next.
I'm in line. Oh, so whatever. The night gets done. Nothing hits me yet. Someone drives us to a hotel. We're just hanging out. It's like they rented us this suite at the almost like a penthouse suite in this hotel. It was amazing. I'm sitting there, we're like talking to my wife, just thinking about like the wedding. Oh, it was so beautiful. Yeah, I love that dress that this person wore. I'd like the food was so good. The cake was amazing. And as soon as we start talking about the food, I'm like, oh no. So luckily the hotel room was so fancy, it had 2 toilets, and it became designated for, if it's coming out of your front, you go to this toilet, and if it's coming out of the back, you got to go to this toilet. And the whole night I spent on what's supposed to be like my honeymoon night, I spent just in the bathroom, essentially. The next morning we go back, and my parents, all my family, they were staying at an Airbnb. And everybody's just strung out, like just laid out. My mom's just kind of like buzzing about. She's like super happy lady. Blah, 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 blah. And everybody else is like, oh God. Like nobody slept. They had one bathroom to share in the whole Airbnb, which was hilarious.
Oh, it's like the bridesmaids.
Yeah, it's like that. Exactly like that.
That's all I'm thinking about right now.
And all of a sudden we're like, what the hell happened? Like what? We don't understand. Why is it just the guys? Like, I don't get it. And then finally my brother Danny goes, wait a minute, what the fuck? So he goes to the fridge, and from the fridge, and again, I'm going to cuss because it was just really funny. It's like he's like 2 rooms away in the kitchen at this Airbnb, and you just hear him go, what the fuck? And we're like, what? And he goes, is this the sandwich meat you used yesterday? And my mom goes, oh, yes. And he reads, and it says, Fresh Pet. For dogs and cats, do not use on humans, blah, blah, blah. And he starts reading the warnings on it. And we're like, you gave us dog food. The laughter We were so mad, but also so like it was just such a funny thing. It was like my mom fed me dog food on my wedding day. What a time
That
to
is
be
a
alive.
great story. That
There you go.
is.
Sorry to derail the episode entirely. I'm supposed to be on my Mallory.
I enjoy embarrassing stories.
That was an embarrassing moment for me.
I'm not going to share one. So there, you both have. I'm not going to.
I have an embarrassing story, but I won't talk about it.
Oh, let's hear it. No, you can't just tease
About me?
Yeah, can I?
Ugh.
Please?
It's only fair, Brooke.
Okay, so basically, we were.
I will stop her if I know where this is going, and it is not going well.
Do you know?
No, not
Okay,
yet.
so basically, it kind of goes along with what you were saying, but like a whole different. So we were taking a road trip up to the Northeast. And we got to, we were driving to Stowe, Vermont, and Mila got the stomach bug. And so she was, puking every 30 minutes, and then you got it. And then my dad got it, but, Dad doesn't puke. It's all out of his butt. And then...
I hope he listens to this.
You're welcome.
This is the funniest episode we've done so far. So good.
And then I got it, and we were all miserable. And then we decided to cut it a day short, right? And we were on the way back, and we had it. We were sleeping in this the same room somewhere, 2 different beds, but same room. And I remember she got up in the middle of the night because she still had it.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she still had it, and she got up, and
This
No,
just
this
trumps all of these, and this is not fair.
No, this is
Next
totally
thing-
fair.
next
I think
thing
this is
I know.
entirely
Not
fair.
fair.
This is
Next
entirely
thing
fair.
I know,
Categorical
she comes
humor.
back in. She comes back in, and she's like, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "No." I'm like, "What happened?" She goes, "I had diarrhea, but as I was pooping, I had to puke." And
That's right. Forget the trauma component, the trauma work that I'm trying to, advocate for building a community. I'm going to be known as the
that's out
pooper
there
puker.
now.
Out both
out
ends.
now.
We're gonna
You can
switch.
call me-
Trauma Uncensored is gonna be rebranded into both ends. Out
We're
of
gonna
both
make
ends.
some T-shirts. We're gonna make some T-shirts about this.
Just an emoji of
I'm
Brooke, just
full of-
like on a toilet, just like ah.
I mean, to be
almost.
fair, that's the only time that's ever happened to me in my life.
Oh, beautiful.
So I was, but thanks.
You
I
needed 2
appreciate it.
toilets next to each other.
Well,
Yeah,
they didn't even have a trash can sitting there,
That's
so I
brutal.
had no option.
You just had to
so you
go.
had to puke and
You
Oh,
know,
that's a moment. That's a moment. That's a moment in your life. Wow.
I want to know what you're going to title this episode.
I am so excited.
Out of both ends.
I'm
I
so-
mean, listen,
out
when
of
I
both
saw
ends.
that you titled the one that was released today, Eat the
Eat the
motherfucking
motherfucking
cheeseburger.
cheeseburger, yeah.
And then I listened to it this morning on my walk.
That was
And I
Franco,
was
by
like-
the way. That was his idea.
Hey, Franco, you're a genius. 'Cause
Our
that
editor.
definitely made me giggle whenever I was out there, and I'm going. I couldn't remember. Did I say that, or did Andreas say it? Was it even in there? And they just came up with the title. And then at the end of the episode, I said it, and I'm like, I was
There it is.
genius.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's right. This has been hilarious, y'all. Oh my gosh.
I'm still laughing at the fact that your brother was a flower girl.
I know, right?
He was
There's
probably
video
a
of
better
it.
flower
I'll send
girl
it.
than I was.
I'll send a video to your mom, and she can share with you. I'll have to find it, but it's in there. He was totally,
Oh yeah.
committed to the bit, and was doing spins and twirls. I think he went up to, was it me? I think it was me, and he puts them in his hand. He goes, and he just blows them in my face, like he's inches from my face. He goes, little did we know the dog food was working its way
Right.
right through us.
Yeah, he was a much better flower girl than I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was crying down the aisle.
Yep.
Committed to the bit.
Yeah, Mallory, you were very
I
young
was
when you
young,
did that,
but-
though.
All good.
Stage fright. Stage
so-
fright. She had stage fright, right? She had stage fright at the age of, that was 2018,
So,
So-
I was
7.
yeah.
And now I
7.
can't get her to shut the fuck up for the life of me. She's always dancing and singing.
We love it.
and She'll
We
go
love it.
upstairs into the music room that's
Good.
attached to her bedroom, and and I'm like, the whole neighborhood can still hear from there.
Good.
I was in my
Mhm.
closet. I go in my closet now. 'Cause,
She's a closet performer.
no, it's because I've got a whiteboard in there and I can draw while I
Love it.
I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's the constant yell in our house is Mallory,
Mallory, shut up.
shut up.
I love it.
She's always.
I can't
She
wait. I
doesn't
can't wait till
shut
my
up.
kids your age and I can have moments like this. That's
No,
so
you
fun.
don't. No.
No, hold on. I do have a question. I do have a closing question for each of you. Each of you need to answer this, because I think it'd be a good way to end. And if you need to take your time to think of the answer, that's fine. If you don't, if you know it right away, and whoever wants to go first, I'll let you speak first. But can you share, each of you, about the other one thing that you're proud of for how you've recovered, grown, changed, and waded through the shit life that happened to you because someone decided to do something so stupid as to text or be on their phone while they were driving? That's such a horrific thing. Can you share something that you're proud of? Brooke, proud of Mallory. Mallory, proud of your mom. And then we can call this an episode.
I know.
Oh, you're going first?
This is usually like in therapy when Catherine asks this with me and Dad. I'm like, you go first. And I know with you. I'm just proud of you because, like, no matter how crappy, like, you feel or how upset you are, you never stop pushing. And you keep going. You don't give up. Like, you go and so that, you put on a brave face for me and for Mila and for Dad too. But even when you're in, like, your lowest of lows, you don't give up.
It's my girl.
Very
and
nice.
For me, sorry for that sound for people listening. For me,
What was that?
I mean, this kid's 14, and I would have, if I was talking to her and had no idea, there'd be no way I thought she was 14. She has, Dad and I have done a lot of work, and she's paying attention to it. And she is just this bright light, even though we do constantly tell her to shut up with the singing because our tender ears can't hear those high pitches all the time.
My bad.
I mean, the work that she's done, she stays consistent in therapy. And, she used that phrase. You're going to have to remember what that phrase
Don't
was.
let the
Keep the
light
light
die.
on.
Don't
let
the light
I mean,
fade.
Don't let the
don't
light
let the
fade.
light fade. 14 by just a few days, by the way. But she's right about the cheerfulness. And we talked about this in that episode prior, excuse me, about how do you parent, to be told that she's too cheerful by somebody else just makes me recognize that the world is so skewed in all the wrong ways, because for someone to have gone through what they've gone through and to continue to remain cheerful while also honoring her grief, because Mallory is, every time she feels it, she doesn't stuff it. She comes and she says, "Can I have a hug?" And we hug each other, and she'll say, "I miss Logan." And I say, "I know, baby, I do too." And we share that, but the way she's carried this very unfortunate, very unfair situation, I'm very excited to see how she continues to grow and mature and even share her experiences in her own light with the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's going to.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Chills. Guys, I am honored
Andres.
that you let me do this. I'm honored that you let me be part of this conversation.
I
you so
think it
much.
was fun. I think it's a nice, lighter topic that people might definitely enjoy getting a little bit of a break to
a little palate cleanser.
Dog food,
Out both
pooping,
ends.
puking.
Yeah.
Out both ends.
Out
Out both
It
ends.
should be titled that.
I know.
Out both
Out
ends.
both ends.
Out both ends with Brooke and Mallory.
That's right.
That's hilarious, actually. I love that.
Out both ends.
Well, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the Trauma Uncensored podcast. Again, best way to support the show is give us a 5-star review. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, give us a follow if you liked it. If you didn't like it, don't tell anybody.
Or lie and tell everybody.
Lie and tell everybody. It's great.
That's right.
If you sign up for a newsletter, it'll only notify you when there are new episodes dropped. We're doing that intentionally. So, A, you don't get spammed. It's only literally letting you know when there's a new episode, and B, so that people listen to the episodes to stay tuned for the announcements. So sometimes the announcements are going to be towards the beginning, middle, or the end of the episode whenever we sneak them in there. But we want people to be listening. So anything that's going to be news about the show is going to be specifically on here. And so if there hasn't been one interjected, we'll do it as we're recording it live, but sometimes we'll interject them. But keep staying tuned for the whole episode, so that way you can not miss things that are going on. And thanks again for everyone who supports the show, all the feedback we've gotten. It's been a really great journey so far, and I'm excited to continue to tell more of the Scherer family story, because it's a doozy. But it's a doozy, and it keeps going.
And also traumauncensored.com has our shirts.
Merch. You guys want to show them off real quick?
But we're here. We actually decided we like each other's colors for each other.
I do like that
so
mint. I like that blue.
Which one? Hers?
I like Mallory's.
It
looks sweet.
Yeah, and actually it's available. It's called Chambray. It's on.
Go get it.
Yeah,
Trauma
so
Uncensored.
that one is. This one
comfort
is
colors.
not. This one is. I
Yes.
also
Yes.
so that's comfort colors. This one I actually prefer.
I like this one a lot more.
Well, but this one is actually Bella Canvas for me, because Bella Canvas is more of a standard fit, where the comfort colors are relaxed.
Yeah.
And for
But they
people
last
with
so
a build,
long.
but
It's
people
so
with
nice.
a build like me, these are actually nice. If I've learned, if you don't get the Heather Bella Canvas, they uphold very well.
Fair enough.
If you get the Heather, they like to unravel.
Head over to traumauncensored.com, www.traumauncensored.com. Make sure you spell uncensored right. We've had to learn how to spell it several times. I've learned. I figured it out after a while. But on that note,
there's also new stuff coming to the site, and not just t-shirts. We're in the process of developing some really cool stuff for care items, community members, all sorts of things. Very, very exciting. So we'll continue to announce, but keep posted.
Yeah. And again, all the announcements are going to come from episodes. You're not going to get them on the newsletter. So because A, we don't want to spam you, but B, it's good for the listening ship. So thanks so much for everyone for listening.
Yep,
My name's Andres Gamboa. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.